Tonight, an 8 on Your Side investigation. A local charity raising more than $5 million to train unemployed disabled veterans. In the last 5 years, it helped none. They ask you to donate your car to support a training program for unemployed veterans.
VetMade Industries, Inc. of Tampa claims it has a program to train veterans in woodworking. 8 on Your Side senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews found while millions were donated to this charity, the program that helps the veterans sat idle.
You know, the idea here was to teach veterans how to build Adirondack-style furniture, give them a skill. Its founder claims he just didn't have enough money to keep the program going. That didn't stop him from collecting millions in donations while the charity's doors were closed. People donated millions to a Tampa charity to help train unemployed disabled veterans. This is VetMade Industries, Inc., located on Cypress Street in Tampa. Our investigation found as donations from a generous public poured in, the woodworking shop at VetMade Industries stayed empty. The machinery sat idle, the doors closed tight. According to founder and executive director John Campbell, the whole program was on hold. How long has it been on hold?
It's going on 5 years that I call it a caretaker status.
Taking care of who? Tax records show that in 3 years, $5.5 million in donations flowed into VetMade Industries. During that same period, not one veteran received training.
Zero goes to the veterans.
Army veteran Ken Cook was among the original volunteers at VetMade Industries in 2009. What he found was disappointing.
There was a highfalutin fancy program on paper, but the reality was that there wasn't any kind of organized training going on in any way, shape, or form.
The goal? Put veterans to work. How many veterans successfully completed VetMade's training program?
I don't have the tracking data to tell you.
What John Campbell does know is he ran out of money, put the program on hold, then found a source of revenue.
We contract with a professional fundraising company in California.
That for-profit company is called Just Donated.
We have been able to get $300,000 in the bank.
If this man is taking money away from veterans.
How do you justify that you're collecting money over the last 5 years, you banked about $300,000, and you haven't helped any veterans?
Mm-hmm. That's tough, and the optics are bad. But that's, unfortunately, that's the reality of having to build capital.
What about building trust? Just Donated promises charities a steady flow of donated vehicles. Just Donated's webpage stated 93% of funds donated to VetMade Industries go directly to the cause of helping our heroes. Is that true?
I will ask the president of that company.
VetMade's tax forms reveal 96% of the donations pay for expenses, most of it to Just Donated.
It makes me very angry.
The website does say 93% of the money goes directly to benefit our heroes. Am I missing something mathematically here?
No. Once again, I perhaps have failed in my due diligence to read exactly what they're saying on their website representing us.
This is outrageous.
Daniel Borokoff is the president of Charity Watch, a nationally acclaimed nonprofit watchdog.
I would tell him to get out of the charity field because he's taking money away that could go to actually helping veterans. I mean, think about this. This $5 million over the last 3 years, that could be benefited veterans who really need help.
Since I started asking questions, the website that said 93% of the donations go directly to the cause of helping our heroes has all changed. Just Donated has not responded to my request for a comment, and the Florida Attorney General's office is now looking into this charity.
Tax records reveal a local charity collected more than $6.5 million to help veterans, but kept its doors closed, helping no one. VetMade Industries received the money from generous people donating their cars to help train unemployed and disabled veterans.
That's right, but as 8 on Your Side senior investigator Steve Andrews found out, the charity paid most of the money from the donations to a professional fundraiser.
Yeah, exactly. Now, earlier this month, I reported that this particular charity collected about $5.5 million. Now, according to tax records dating back to 2010, make it $6.5 million, and veterans got nothing. The sign on the door says VetMade Industries is closed. The charity's mission put unemployed disabled veterans back to work. Founder John Campbell.
We do partner and had partnered with the Veterans Administration Office of Compensated Work Therapy Program. They're out of James Haley.
Not according to an email from Haley Public Affairs Specialist Karen Collins, who wrote, "We don't have an existing partnership."
They will refer veterans that they think would be a good fit. And they had, over the years, brought some good people in.
According to Collins' email, we referred one patient, vocational rehabilitation program, who ended up working with VetMaid several years ago prior to their closing. The woodworking shop where veterans were to be trained closed for years.
It has been at least 5 years since we have been going.
This 2010 John Campbell email indicates it's been closed longer than that. The email states, "I really hope we can get the shop functional and just not waste all the rent money and not even use the place." While closed, VetMaid collected millions in car donations for veterans.
We contract with a professional fundraising company in California.
Records show less than 5% gets back to VetMaid. Former volunteer Ken Cook.
The worst part is out of that, 0 goes to the veterans.
Daniel Borokoff is president of Charity Watch, a nonprofit watchdog.
Charity Watch has a minimum that at least 60% of the budget should go to bona fide program services.
I believe in my heart that this is a good business model and it's helping the right people at the right time.
Helping the right people at the right time? Excuse me, Mr. Campbell, even you admit VetMaid Industries trained no veterans for the last 5 years. A member of your board of directors told me it's closer to 10. About the only people that this charity seems to be helping is the professional fundraiser that's paid millions of dollars to.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
This Tampa charity collected millions to train disabled veterans, but not if they sit in wheelchairs. VetMaid Industries of Tampa claims it helped many disabled veterans get back to work.
So who are these veterans? Well, the charity can't tell us, but 8 on Your Side senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews knows that none of the veterans used wheelchairs.
A lot of questions about this charity, VetMaid Industries. It's collected millions. It's kept its doors closed. It hasn't trained any disabled veterans in years. And this place isn't even accessible to veterans in wheelchairs. VetMaid Industries is a charity that claims it trains unemployed and disabled veterans to get back to work.
There are veterans everywhere and disabled people that need help. There's not a lot of options for them.
Since 2010, tax records show VetMaid collected more than $6.5 million in car donations. Most of that money went to a professional fundraiser. Little, if any, went to train veterans.
We did help a number of veterans, both male and female.
If founder John Campbell is correct, you can bet none of those vets sat in wheelchairs. The building in which VetMaid Industries supposedly trains disabled veterans is not wheelchair accessible.
And it's completely inaccessible by wheelchair. It has no ramps. It has stairs only access to get to the front door.
Veteran Ken Cook volunteered at VetMaid Industries when it opened in 2009. The plan, teach veterans woodworking skills and bandsaws and drill presses to build and sell Adirondack-style furniture.
Because no one has ever been in there and operated a piece of machinery in a wheelchair, and few people with wheelchairs have probably ever been in there because they can't get in there.
John Campbell admits there is no wheelchair access to the building. He says he's asked the VA for a wheelchair lift.
That place should never, ever have been operating with A, no ramp access for handicapped people, B, no access, proper access to equipment for handicapped people, and 3, no bathroom that can be used at all by handicapped people.
According to Mr. Campbell, work is underway to modify the bathroom to make it wheelchair accessible 9 years after VetMaid Industries opened. Other issues. When we visited VetMaid, there didn't seem to be enough space between equipment for a wheelchair to get through. The equipment was not at wheelchair height. Now, Mr. Campbell has assured me that he has workstations to accommodate veterans in wheelchairs, although they seem to have termites.